Let me just check the screen. See see if you guys can actually see anything. I don't want to share my whole desktop, but I will also need you guys to be able to see something. I kind of feel the web on the top left corner is unnecessary. But hey, just put it there to fill up the empty space. Is this started yet? Right. I mean, it looks like we are able to see something. Yeah, okay, so there's a couple of things we need to change. Uh, okay, that should be good. It reminds me of having a meeting because I have a ultra wide monitor, so and I'm very used to like looking at very small phones. So hope you guys can see the things, see the wording, something. I hope so. I think this one. I think this one needs to be bigger. But can we? Oh no, let's just filter. Uh, no, that's not what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking for. Editor. Um, editor setting. Sorry, my nose is killing me. Okay, debugger. Um, nope. Ah, here. I mean, triangle before. I guess triangle is enough. I feel like it's enough. I'm just gonna use triangle. so big. I hate this. But yeah, just keep going. Yeah, that's just the. So, just a couple recap. We haven't streamed for this one. We haven't do this for a long time. Uh, 2 weeks. So what we are trying to do is to create a game that is with the Chinese fiction theme as a background. And my goal is to create a game that's very Diablo-like. I hope ARPG style. And so there's a couple changes I need to make as well. Like the view angle. The right now the on top map is 2D, but inside the what's that called? Like inside a chapter or something like that. Inside the scene, this is it's just a 2D platform. I would like to change that, but let's see how it goes. And right now we focus on the inventory part, and we want to create a grid inventory, again Diablo like. And so here's what we're doing. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. And previously we just coding on by ourselves, and as you guys see, I'm not a very good coding on this game engine. I'm not saying I'm a good programmer in general. I skilled enough to do my job, just not like excellent or maybe good enough. Anyway, yes, and you know, AI is a big topic, and people worry, oh, will AI replace my job? And I have been trying to use it for sometimes for my working and other project. I feels like if you are that kind of person, that kind of developer that only do the tasks and only do what you've been told and not trying to improve yourself in general, you have a very decent chance to get replaced by AI, which is me. So I do afraid of it. But anyway, so I have been trying to use it for some amount of time, and not just for this project. I do it for other personal project as well, and I feels like AI is a tool that can how to put this, give you a better time managing, and also it's kind of able to improve your management skill as well, because using AI tool is like acting as a project manager and technically a senior at the same times. So you're kind of like monitoring a group of developer to do their job. And so let's give you a little bit recap for this chat, not recap because you guys never see it. So for this one, you can see I'm doing just vibe coding, but I'm trying to do more than vibe coding. So just ignore the Chinese wording here. I changed the name, and I also use it on my other PC, so that the path is different. So I'm just telling the AI. Sorry. I'm just trying to tell the AI, okay, we have a sample for the things we want to achieve, and here's some of the file we have right now, and we want to change them. and ask it to like read through the file, read through the report, and summarize what we want to do first, and try to get the AI to give me some other example, like what kind of game using this one, and describe the task for me, describe what it would looks like for me. So that's just to make sure the communication is correct, just to make sure that the AI understand what you're talking about and they are able to give you the correct example. Like if I ask them to do, or I want to do a Diablo like a Diablo like grid inventory, can you give me some example other than Diablo? And if it give you like Skyrim or maybe Exhibition 33, if it gives you something like that, that means it doesn't know what you're talking about. So that's very important. That's very important for you to like make sure the AI know what you're talking about, and also ask them to read through what you already have and any example they give you, and try to get them to explain what step you're going to take. And like in here, I asked them to give me some example, and some of the game I haven't played before, so I can't really confirm this, but I do play Path of Exile, so I know, and Position Boy as well, so I know what it's talking about. I know the AI know what I'm asking for, and so there's some aspect there about the items or something like that, and also you can see this. You can see I haven't mentioned what kind of engine I was using, but you already know because I put it in a project. I put it on. Hey, the network is a little bit adding. Yes, so inside this project, you will see there's a project knowledge. That's only for this specific tools. If you use something else than this one, I have no idea how to do it. Just do your own research. So you see, I'm just putting some project instruction here, what kind of engine we are using, and the documentation for the engine, and also some third-party library we are going to use in our project, and also some other this part we will get to it later because it's not using it at the moment. Yeah, so now just get into it, and also let's just some recap on what we have done. So what we have done is we finished the first step to just create the set of data about what items do we have. We have one axe, one shield, and one projectile as well. And I'm not gonna explain the structure in here because it was just boring. It would just be very boring. Some feature, some function. And yes, so this is the latest message. Latest. You show me an example where I have to sort. Okay, so I'm just trying to ask it to explain something to me so I can understand what he's talking about. And so like this is one of the example as well. So if you notice in this set of I usually call it object. So the index mean x, and previously when I was doing on my own, I used that index as the items ID. But this name is too general for items, so it kind of confused me. And also the reason why I have it to clarify is because in the previous questions it mentioned that uh, it will need a different items type ID instead of items ID. So this get me confused, and also it is trying to generate. I know what he's doing here. He's generate the ID for your inventory, not the items. What? Not the items ID, but still, yeah. If you have doubt, ask the AI more questions. Ask it to clarify. Never forget AI is just a tools. At least at this moment, you can go to Grok and you play with your AI waifu. That's your right to do so. And maybe you get married one someday. I'm all for it. I mean, all for you guys do it. I'm taken, so I'm fine. And so now we jump to the last step, because I already clarified the ID problems, but I'm still not gonna just trust the AI. So I asked him to give me an example of what does it mean, what it looks like if there's more than one soul or X, something like that, to make sure it's applying the item's ID correctly, or at least as I expected. So here's I asked him to ask the AI to give me an example. Yeah, and also generate a great example as well, so it's good. So now let's just double check what we have been applied to the system. The last time I was looking at the inventory data, so let's just make sure the file is up to date. Okay, sorry, give me a second. Hello, Luna. That cat is coming. Right. So, what do we have here? To you guys, you can just see the top left and right. I will have to run through it screen by screen, so a little bit different. Hello, Okay, so it looks like we already applied the inventory. Okay, so let's ask the AI to do a quick summary. Oh, by the way, if you're using this tool and you wonder why they can't read your message, they can't read your file, you need to install a connector as well. So you will see there's a Windows MCP connector in here. You have a better option if you use WSL. I haven't installed this one, so yeah, WSL you can use that to change your file as well. But for the one I'm using, it might not necessarily able to do it. It would tell you, it would keep telling you it's success, but it would never change the file. So this is a bug. Just ignore it. Don't ever try to waste your time and raise your usage, waste your quota. Just don't do it. Copy it yourself. So okay, so now we're telling the AI we have applied the changes and ask him to look on the file to confirm everything is in place and summarize answer and give me this. I hope I can use Chinese to to do that. My English is not very good. You guys can tell. It's just horrible. Maybe it's also a journey for me to like improve my English as well. Yeah, so you can see it is trying to read the file through a shell script. A little bit slow right now because the PC I'm using is not very good. It's not a good one. Yeah, but you can tell it's still running. Just a little bit slower. I'm playing for the cheaper one, so yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I just checked this step 2. So here's the summary of this check. We break it down into several steps. The first one is just build up the items database, and the second one are we set up the inventory data so later on we can get it to use it. And also we have some translation support. It basically just applied in the Chinese and English wording. And now we are going to create the UI component. Why it needs to be your inventory snow? Okay. So let's see. We have the component. Yeah, previously, I don't know if you guys remember, but previously uh, we have some dummy components built up, just so we can have have something nice to look at. This one is just a useless placeholder. Let's make a save file right here first. What do we have for this inventory? It's just control panel with script. No, that's not the things I'm looking at. It should be in, yeah, here. So now we are gonna move to the UI part. Since we already have something in place, yes, there's a save file. So since we already have some UIs in place, we are going to feed it to the AI and first ask him to take a look and try to check, see if there anything we can reuse from that part instead of keep creating new things and burying the old stuff in the grave. Yeah. to play script build and a hover effect. Here's the path of the component, and so just give it the path first, and then tell it where have we applied this one. Okay. See it. So we're gonna fit it for the both file instead of just fit it the folder, because I noticed they don't really take folder serious. At least I think this is for this container. Sorry, this connector. Maybe there's some is still in early stage, so could be just something missing. Like I said, if you use another one, use another connector, you might have different restriction, but that's the restriction for me. So let's see, do we have any? So far, this one is quite great. When I first bought it 2 months ago, it is a disaster. So it was 3.7 at the time. A lot of things you can't do, a lot of things is not quite correct, and the generator is nonsense. One reason is I don't really know how to use it before. I'm still fresh on it and I play for a year-long subscription, so it kind of pissed me off, and then I canceled subscription. I will still have 1 year subscription. I just won't do auto radio. But anyway, and also when they first changed to version 4, the first draft of the version 4 is disaster. It's just not as accurate as 3.7, and get even push up more nonsense. So I've used it for some times, and recently when I have a meeting with my workmate in the company, and we kind of not discover, but my team leads introduce us to some new format to use it, or the better way to vibe coding. And so I try it for a while, and so far it's quite good. There's still a lot of room for me to improve as well, but you can see I'm not asking a very good question in here. I'm kind of just telling it what to do, and I'm sure there's a better way to state that question. But yeah, every improvement takes times, and overall, we'll get better. So here, so yes, we are building the UI. And also one very key note for using AI. Don't forget you're the developer. Don't just take whatever they give you. Just don't. There's an article saying a guy is trying to use this exact tools to create a project, which should be for like a business project, and the AI just create a bug in the system that wiped out all the data in the database and keep lying about everything is fine, just saying, oh, this one is working, this one is good, and even fake some respawn data, so just to make it feels good, just to make it looks good. So don't trust any, don't just blindly trust anything. Read through it, read through every code they sent you. I mean, I appreciate your offer, but no, not gonna buy real bot. Just doing it for fun. This is my rubber duck. I mean, the stream. So we are building the main container to manage the grip. Since we show waiting for direct. Okay, let's see. Let me check the existing UI. So now you can see here is that it has trouble reading a file directly, and so we now have to check the script. The script, the respawn of the script look fine for this one. So does the other two as well, because the static code is 0. Should it be 0? At least there's no error message coming out from that. So now we need to ask the AI to clarify what is failing. This is a great example for silly questions, because even though it looks like a follow-up question, and it is a follow-up question, but it lose one of my coder, and I'm not buying the expensive plan, so my coder is very, very limited. That means all. Okay, so now it could be a couple of things. It could be I haven't given admin access for this. So what I'm going to do is I'll close this one and then reopen it. Okay, that looks good. Yes, so the question here is the AI said it has trouble reading file, and it didn't mention which file it has trouble. It has trouble. So I asked the AI, okay, which file? But because this is it's just a very small question, and also doesn't impart any follow up for this one, so it is not a good question for that. But the good thing is the AI does provide some solution. Like it said, okay, you can copy and paste, or just tell me the feature you already implies. I would say this second one is a little hard because it requires you to do a very uh, accurate descriptions, and also you didn't provide a code, so a user would prefer copy and paste. But since we just restart the program and open it with the admin access, so we are going to try to ask it try it again. I would say sometimes debugging something like that, debugging your tools is more time consuming than debugging your program because you can't change anything here. but I promise you it will be worth it because use this kind of problem. Usually, you just need to solve it run once. Once it's resolved, you'll be good. It's just wasting my coder. In this case, I'll just upload a file. So for this tour, the other thing is you can utilize Git. You guys, are you guys able to see this one? No, 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 no. You guys can. Let me just. Oops. Yeah, so let's just get back to the chat. You can actually link up the project with your Git repo, and then you can ask it to read your Git repo to grab the code. The reason why I didn't do this is right now I'm in the middle of the development. I rely it to read through some function. I'm not ready to put it onto the Git for the moment. So if I do this, if I rely on the Git, I will have to keep pushing file, keep pushing the update to Git and ask it to synchronize from the Git again, which is not ideal. The best is it can read through your the best is you can read through your folder and get uh get the answer right away instead of keep doing like push the Git, sync it back, and then ask it to read again. But if you if you just start to build a new feature, it will be the best. It will be best if you just get the latest code from Git and start from there. Yeah, let me fix this screen. The ratio is a little bit strange. Okay, we don't need this one. We don't need this one to be that big. And we need this one to be a little bit bigger. Yep, that will do. I usually play some music in the background, but I don't want to get copyright strike. So no music today. I mean, I can sing. We already have less than less than we already have single digit viewer. I don't need it to be zero. So okay. So you can tell I already have hover effect in here. Some basic setting. Okay. Now it just showed me the code. So let's take a look. So this is for the inventory script. Let's just see what's the difference between theirs and mine. Right. Constantly. So it create class name called UI and and we have the inventory setup, which we already have in the original one. It's still the same with the one we already have, so we can ignore it. Now it added some background stock container and item container. was trying to see something. I was trying to show you something, but my PC is too slow. So let's, before we boring the code, we just read through this description. The existing of a right now show the full size of the items being dragged. That makes sense? Grid cells have visual representation with. So, okay, that makes sense as well. Placement preview show green and red based on about. Yeah, that's good. So that's drag and drop implementation. This is the function. Item can be dragged and dropped to new position. Fit back there, dragging, snap to the right on drop. Item display system. Okay, so I just think of something. Now let's take a look on the game. If you notice, so this is how the games work. We're running around, getting in place, and let's say this is a platform. This is the fight scene, and we kill. Maybe we kill this guy. I think we haven't got to that part yet, and it drops something. And when I try to grab something, if their position, if there is any space in here, it should be auto filled with the new object. And then if it is already full, then it will pop up and set, oh, this one is your inventory is full now, so we can pick this one up. But if we handle the inventory this way, open the UR and jump to another menu, that will create a problem. Yes, now we can't pick the things up, but if we want to drop something on the ground, we will have to either create like a bucket or something, or create a feature that when it drop out the grid, it will drop to the ground, but it will break the immersion. It would just feel weird, because to the user, it doesn't like it's dropping anything to the ground. So we can't do this. It will just be weird. And so let's think of another way to handle this. Because we are working on the UI, right? So we will not apply anything that in here for now, because we want to twist the feature to. We want to twist all the feature to what we want before we actually apply the code. So instead of what should it call? What should it call? Instead of a note in the current screen. Spelling is I need to improve on that one. Here's something: if you're not native in English, you have a hard time to use it as well. I did try to use my mother language, but it's not quite good at this at the moment. I believe in the future it will be fine. So the question is, I'm trying to change the way we handle the inventory menu. Right now, it's inside the user menu, and I want it to be open a box in here, like open up like something like this. But so the user can just drag the items to drop in the screen to drop it on the ground, and maybe they can just get the item in here and drop it in the inventory directly as well. And we can give him some example in here as well. Yes, yes, I'm asking the AI for that. Forgot what's the name of the game? Path of Exile. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Usually just giving some example to make it more obvious what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think next time I should collect it with my git as well. So, since I can't read my local file, it will save me a lot of trouble if it can read my local file because I can ask it to read like a wider angle. But it would do. It would do for now. So now you can see that the message got bounced back. It could be because it's taking forever to load, and so the internet is breaking up. This is one of the reasons why. Yeah, I understand the question, but it just takes too long for it to load up the result, and so it break. This is one of the reasons why I cancel my subscription in the first place, because it happens too often. There's there's a lot of place for this tools to improve, but I thought I'd give it another try because it worked well for my workmate. I mean, it could be the way I asked the question. So let's just shorten it. I think after this one, I might start to change the view of the game. So it won't be a platform game anymore. It will be just like the 2.5D, the 2.5D angle, and look up at the sky with a 45 degrees angle or something like that. It's harder to do, but it will have better map design in this way. already give it a coding example from the beginning. That one is working very well. I mean the example, so it is understanding what I'm doing, what I'm asking for. I'm just trying to twist a little, twist some things on the example, because the example I gave it just have the inventory. There's no gameplay for this one. So sorry for the example. So it's difficult for it to integrate that example into my game correctly. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know the limitation of the usage is that low. Did they change the plan? Okay, so I think we need to stop here. Not that I mean after this, after we read through this one, that's an example of raising your resources. But anyway, let's just give you a quick peek. How much does it cost? This is the plan is asking me to join. I'm not using this one. It's a monthly payment. It's £75 per month. So if you buy and then for a year-long subscription, it will cost 750 plus 100 for 150. So it will cost 900. Yeah, £900. I mean, it's not ridiculously high. No, not Europe. Europe will be cheaper. Yeah, Europe will be cheaper. Let me show you how different the plan. So on the left is my current plan. It's just £13 per month. So a year long would be around 153. Yeah, 153. And it's just like 6 times, almost 6 times the price. And this is why it just bounced back the questions. They have a limitation of the output, and I think my question is getting a little bit over the limit. I guess it could be just trying to waste my limit. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I don't have that kind of money. I hope I will one day. Anyway, let's just read through the Okay, so it's trying to create overlay nodes in here, and so it has the containers, the UR. Here's another thing. We're using our UI based engine, right? It's not, we are not doing pure coding. That's why we will have this kind of tools on the engine. You can drag and drop the nodes so anywhere you want. You set up the location of the item, and so for the AIs, that's a limitation because even though it might be able to read your screen, it can't really interact with the engine you're using. It can't help you to create and chop and do all the movement. And also because we're asking question and it's just showing the coding for us, right? So it it can show us, it might not be able to help us to set up the screen in here as well. So it will try to use the coding approach as much as they can. Like here, it create a controller in here. So but because it only provided the script, not the screen settings, so we will need to set it up ourselves. Especially we are using some smaller engines, some open source engine. If you're using Unity, Unreal, those big engine, they have a solution for that. They have the API for you to create a connector, so the AI tools can connect with your game engine through that gateway. But this kind of small engine, they don't have the solution because they're already putting all the time. They're volunteering, so they don't have any money for that, and so they already using the time to build the whole things. And the one I'm using, Rato engine, it was a full version for the Godot engine. If you don't know why I use it, if you don't know what Rato engine is, just search it, just Google it. There's some history, that some political back political issue, political like issue. So I prefer Rato instead of Godot. And so this kind of this kind of open source engine, they already use up all the time to create the engine, to perfect the engine itself. They might not be able to keep up with the new technology, new tools. Especially there's almost a new AI coming up every couple months or so. So there's no way for them to like just put times in here. And so there's some extra layer of difficulties for me to use the AI with this kind of engine. If you are a new developer, you just you're trying to start to build your new first game, and you have no programming background, and you want to use AI, I would suggest you use Unity or Unreal, those AI that provide a solution for you to have a better use on it with the AI. But if you have some programming background and you want to challenge yourself, and you don't want to use like the big brand, the things that under the big corporations, then you can try it. You can try this engine. Oh, and the other reason why I don't use Unity and Unreal are, don't get me wrong, they're very powerful and they're kind of a standard. It will move much quicker and smoother if you use them. The reason why I don't use them is I don't like to be controlled by the TOS. It's not like the Red Dot doesn't have their TOS, they do, don't get me wrong. But for Unity, for Unreal, they change their TOS to fuck with the developer a couple times. Especially if you're a small developer, an indie developer. There was a time they changed the TOS, so Before that, if you sell your game and don't reach a certain limit, a certain amount, they won't charge you anything. That makes sense because they are a big company. They want to make money, and you did use their service, so it only makes sense if you pay them. But the reason why they have the back package for small developers for small game is they want more people to start doing that, and the more small business, the more small competition, the better the whole environment. So that's a good move. But sometimes when they change the TOS, it either lower the limit or to a very unfriendly amount, or they put too much limitation to small creator, and it ends up like creating trouble for them. And I don't like the behavior. So that's that's why I use a smaller one, small engine. And like I said, more competition, the better the environment. If you just put all the eggs into those two big engines, yes, they will get better. But once they exist a certain like exist a certain size, take a certain size of the market, and all the small engines got died down, they will have full control on you, and you can do nothing about it other than build your own engine. I tried it before. I studied game development. Building your own game engine is a fucking nightmare. It could take you like years to do so. If you're a gamer and if you ever play any game from Capcom, you will know building your own game engine is and could be a nightmare. And I remember Cyberpunk used to do their game and used to use their own game engine as well, and then they gave up on that and changed to Unreal Unity. I forgot I forgot the details, but yeah, even a big company, even like Capcom, if you use your own game engine, it will have a lot of issue. The loading issue is no joke. And imagine if you're in indie developer and you have to deal with it uh, your no one's gonna help you. You're just adding more trouble into your project. You don't have you don't have 10 to 20 years just to do that. Or maybe you have, but yeah. One reason. The other reason is they build the whole games, and the CEO think, oh, I think introducing Keanu Reeves would be a better selling points for the game, so they just scrap the whole idea, and then redevelop the whole game again. They pick up some pieces, but basically it just scrap all the script and then redo the whole story. So it's kind of double the development time. But yeah, that's the story behind that, and it's just not good. And so I mean, especially nowadays, there, there's more open source software out there. If you are using like Adobe, using Photoshop, Gram, is that Gram? GRIMP is actually better than before, better than a couple years ago. The version 3 is quite great. And so if you are a graphic designer or you are trying to like like me, making a game, eventually you need to do some artwork yourself. Try some open source software. The more people use them, the more feedback they get, the better the software would be. I think for 3D market is a very how to put this. It's a very good example. So in 3D, many years ago, about 20 years ago, there's only two major 3D animation software. One is called 3D Max, created by Autodesk. I think they still have they still have this on the market, and the other is Maya. I forgot which company it belongs to, but basically 3D Max is for Windows and Maya is for Mac. Yeah, for iOS, for Mac OS. And so they both great software. They both take up a bunch of resources. So basically, if you're fucking poor, you can't do anything with it. I remember I took 30 computer, 30 computer to render 3 minutes. 3 minutes. No, not 3 minutes, just 1 minute, 1 minute and a half animation. I divided the animation into 30 parts and then use 30 computer to render the result and then put it back together. So, but anyway, that's 20 years ago, and there's not much option you can pick. So you have to pay big amount of money, and students like us, we don't have the money, so we can just use student license or use the computer from the school. And now we got Blender. Blender is another open source 3D modeling and 3D animation creating tools. It used to be suck, but now it's great. Even though the industry is not going to use it, the big company won't adopt this. Not because the tool is not great, but because it's open source. For big corporate, for big company, reliable is more important than good. By reliable, I mean if the tools fuck up, they have somebody to blame. And usually the brand tools will be more stable and more secure than the open source one. Usually, not always. Yeah. So, but if you're indie, just try to use as much as open source you can. I'm not saying you have to try every single one of them. Just pick the big one. Just pick the good one and use it. And everything, and you have to build up your skill as well. Oh, there's one of the problem with open source software is they don't have a very big team to analyze the UI design. So usually their UI is quite how do I put this? The UI is usually quite unique and low budget. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just doesn't mean look good as well. So it take times. It take times to build your skill and build the and build their community as well. So just give open source software a try. And I think that's it. Yep. Okay, since we're out of limit, we will pick it up next time. Alright, thank you.